Greetings, world and beautiful famille. I am a Richard, and I am coming to you today for our month of June energetic forecast crystal ball reading video. But first, a little bit of a dragon's breath of love with my Palo Santo. I just like to call it dragon's breath of love because I am full of love. I am a dragon, and with my breath, I send love onto you. In this now, beauties. Yay! So this is going to come a little strange, my family, because usually I just come and do my breath work and start the crystal ball scurrying. But I've had a visitor for the last few days here, and she has been a very, very potent in the energy. And she is Wendy O. Williams. As you can see, I am sporting my Wendy O shirt right here. And, oh my gosh, it's just very funny. I have channeled her in the past several times because I've always admired her for reasons very different, and a lot of people might assume because Wendy was originally the front singer for the band of Plasmatics. So I got a vinyl record here, so this was Butcher Baby. So she was known as a demolition queen. You know, she'd blow Cadillac Coupe-Villes on stage and dance around it. She'd bring sledgehammers to TV sets, chainsaws to guitars. And, I mean, she was really outrageous. You know, people seem to recall What Is Outrageous Kiss, Alice Cooper, all that theatrical aspect. But Wendy was a very, very different frequency and energy. She was here to disperse, to break through illusion. And we're talking about the 70s here, right? When punk was at its highest form, that rebellion there. And Wendy's message was always like against conformity, against governmental power or institutions, hated fashion. And this is what she was dispersing, right? Like bringing that energy that what we're living in is not necessarily what we think it is, and we gotta smash that false reality. And I mean, she was outrageous and famous for that. And she has been around me for the last few days as I've been like slowly like getting into the energy and the waves for this month of June reading. So, I mean, like, without further ado, let's just do the breath work and see how Wendy is going to come in. This is the first time that I try this with the crystal ball, but she's here right now and she's very present and she's got something to say. So we'll take the lead from her after my breath work. And I'll be back in a snap, babies. All right. Welcome back, Carter. Wow, that was, I went far. All right, so today we're going to use my crystal ball Aurélien, not Aurélien, Aurélien. And I'm going to need a little bit of light. I don't want to blind you. First, how dare I, a little bit of yum yum bubble gum. Here's to you, my babies. Cheers. Ah, so good. All right, so let's see what Uncle Freak can conceal. Spin the bottle, spin the bottle, spin the bottle and land. Eyeballs on. All right, so here it's not Wendy right now. I'm at a location, and this seems very familiar. I might have tapped into this last month, but I don't rewatch my videos, so it feels, because I'm in Iceland right now. I'm pretty sure I tapped into Iceland, but right now it's about the skies. There's like the auroras, the sky. There's a lot of activity right here. Beautiful colors. Like sky watching intel. I see everyone looking at the skies. And I can see the purples and the blues and the milkiness that merge between the twos, creating new harmonic shades and hues. But we're watching the skies. Nothing nefarious here. This I did tap into this morning, and I think I mentioned it to Carrie Booby on the phone. Japan. And I think, again, I touched into Japan last month. So if I did, Japan is back. And there's a lot of emotion, water consciousness. And I'm not sure if I'm tapping into, in regards to Japan, with Gaia's emotional consciousness. But again, it feels like there's a merge between technology and spirit. So I don't know if the water is a symbolism for emotion or if it's actual water levels. But water is a very big, and emotions is a water element. Oceanic energy is what I'm getting. Oceanic energy. But I do feel, as I'm touching a religion here, I think I did tap into that last month, because I remember right now how yourself is showing me, I saw like almost like, I don't know if it's a religion or a tribe or a community in the mountains, respecting even forms of technology. So that's still happening. There's something happening with the emotions, technology, and spirituality. But it's very water-oriented. It's very water-oriented. And we stop. Ooh. Okay, here I'm in the desert. It's desert land. Okay, now the energy of Wendy is coming in. From my right, coming down. She's a little bit hovering back here. New Mexico. What's that word? New Mexico. Nevada. Now I'm being shown like we're going back to the Roswell archetype. Now, I keep seeing this red cardinal bird all the time lately. Every time I'm in a ball, at one point or another, there's a red cardinal bird, the male red bird. So what does he want to do with New Mexico and Roswell? Oh, okay. Got it. Steven Spielberg's got a movie. Is it coming out this month? Disclosure. Day of the Disclosure. Disclosure Day. And originally, yes, I don't know if this is still part of the publicity, but I remember at the time when we did not know much about this movie, there was a poster, and I think it was in the form of a cardinal bird, and in it was like the one eyeball of a human. I seem to remember that it was like a huge poster on a building somewhere. I don't know if it was in New York or Los Angeles, but it was massive. It was like the cutout of this cardinal bird. Disclosure Day. Well, you know, that would make sense, right? Because right now we got so much talk in mainstream news with NASA, with the Pentagon about, disclosure, you know, off-world beings. So that would make sense that the Roswell archetype is popping up right now. Maybe that even has to do with the activity I saw in Iceland, the auroras. I do not see anything nefarious, though, okay? I mean, off-world beings have been here for a very, very long time, huh? Whether it be inner Earth or inner world or outer world. I mean, they've always been here. But now is really time for that disclosure. So why is Wendy here? Why have I been feeling it? She's not making me feel that it's about this, but this leads to something else. Steven Spielberg, Hollywood, disclosure coming out. Broadcast system. News, north, east, south, west, broadcasting. Okay, so she was a disruptor breaking that broadcast at the time, because she's no longer with us, obviously, like in the human form. All right, so something about that. Hollywood. Why are you bringing me to Hollywood right now? Okay, coming out of a screen, a TV screen. Because now I'm seeing a creature right now, and I just finished watching that series on Netflix, The Burrows. I think it's called The Burrows. Anyways, I fell asleep on episode 4 and 5, so I saw the first 2 and maybe the last 2, and I fell asleep in the middle of it. But they were these little creatures. They didn't come out of TVs. They came out of an oven. So what it was, okay, it's all coming together right now. Because of that series, The Burrows, is like a center, a place where you bring the elderly to for their last days, but it is all built like a Club Med. It is festive, it is fun, the best times of your life, right? But who was running the show were not of this world. They were like alpha draconians, looking like humans. And somehow what they would do is they would, these creatures would come out from tunnels underground, out of people's ovens, and while they were sleeping, extracting the life force from them slowly but surely, not making it too obvious, but they wanted to extract from them a life force. Okay, and we've heard about these stories over and over again through entertainment, whether it be the vampire or, let's put the words adrene and end with chroming. This is what it was, taking a life force in order for them to live, that fear of always dying. So retracting, taking from one to consume in order to have the fountain of youth. There is something very big right here. And why the TV sets? Yes, because at the end, this is what it is. One of the characters, one of the leads, was some kind of genius, right? So electronic genius. And he had worked on collecting old-fashioned TV sets, like the big boxes from the 70s and 80s, before we had like the smart TV screen. And he was playing with the wires, and it was a big wall of TVs. And he was working at a frequency to disrupt these creatures. Enter Wendy Williams. There we go. That's the connection. Because Wendy, oh my gosh, for those of you who know, she was so outrageous. She had a video that she did that MTV had to say like a big warning, don't do this at home. And so what she did is she was driving an orange school bus through the desert. So maybe that was Nevada, okay, through the desert. Because I remember there was cactuses and wild horses and helicopters. She was sporting the Mohawk. She was the first woman in entertainment to sport a Mohawk after seeing the movie Taxi Driver. Yes, okay, now she's like, it's a lot. So, and she brought the Mohawk to heavy metal. Okay, yes. So in that video, what was it? Children of the Damned. So she's driving through the desert with her Mohawk. And then all of a sudden she smashes her body through the window while the bus is running. She goes onto the nose hood, climbs on the top, and then she starts lifting her arm and screaming, "Children of the damned!" And the bus is going, and it's going, and in front of her there's a huge wall of ancient TV sets. I mean, like a wall. I don't even know how many layers, but they're all turned on. And then as the bus crashes in the wall, she jumps off the roof. Hopefully she didn't land in a cactus. Then it crashes through the wall and it explodes. Frequency, let's go back to the Burroughs. He's working with all that, all those wires, building a wall of TV sets. It's a frequency. Wendy in the 70s, that probably was 81, that video. But this is what she was after, like all these boob tubes telling us how to be, how to think, mind control, broadcast news, north, east, south, west, broadcasting. It was like mind control, and she wanted to break through the illusion. And it's even more interesting because if you look at the concept, she was on an orange school bus. What does an orange school bus do? It grabs the children, brings them to school to like indoctrinate them. There's no, from what I recall, there was never like the guidance to help you develop your real artistic or spiritual side, right? It's like, this is history, you got to study it and pass the test. Like it's like pounding in your head. It was never there to help us evolve on so many other levels, right? Like energy and frequency, and it was like indoctrination. So she was smashing that indoctrination in the boob tube wall. Freedom. Wow. Okay, I was not expecting it to go that far. So again with the TV set, so if we look at the series The Barrows, so at the end, okay, so the male character in the resort was making all this. Then they knew what he was up to, so they were locking him up. And then his daughter came, and she was also a brilliant mind, just like Papa. And she saw in the kitchen all these TV sets, and now she knows there's creatures coming out of the oven. So she believes her dad, he's not insane. She saw them. But then she sees all the wires and all the kitchen and all the TVs, and she toyed with it and finished the project. So at the end, with the leaders of the resort, which are pretending to be human, are cornering them. Then this one man opens a garage door, hit it, and all the TVs go on. And the two lead reptilian people, the frequency grabs them, and then they elevate. And then you can see their skin is melting, and you can see their fingers as they're reaching out because they loved each other to hold hands. You can see like the big claws and all that. But that frequency is what was breaking the cloaking, showing what was there and getting rid of it. And how I am feeling right now, that frequency, like it's a different story than Wendy, but it still is very relevant right now. What she had brought back then and what we're seeing now. And why is Hollywood always saying like very similar stories right now? The storytelling is a they're all touching base with similar thing, whether it's it's all disclosure in one form or another. But I think, and what I am feeling right now is that frequency in that the series The Barrows feels like all those TVs is like humanity awakening as one. And that as we awaken as one, we break the illusion, we break through the disillusion, we break the cloaking technology. That's what it is. Because at the time, Wendy, she was aware of the technology and she wanted to break through it, spread her message. But then, technology kept coming and getting more and more and more. And maybe that's why it comes full circle to Japan, what I'm feeling, a merge between technology and spirit. Something is changing. So now instead of breaking the boob tube that is hypnotic and mind controlling, now that technology is like humanity awakening, and then we are the technology that breaks the disillusion. Wow. It feels so potent with that. And perhaps also, with the television, was that everything is going to be broadcasted with disclosure. So I'm tapping into like several layers of the onion. Like I'm in a Russian doll maze. I keep taking a new one out and opening it. There's so many different layers that and Wendy is just so cute. Now she's sitting down and she's petting a squirrel and she's listening to me with a little smile on her face. Because, like Wendy was actually a sweetheart. Her persona on stage was nothing like the real Wendy. She was very soft-spoken and loved animals and she loved squirrels a lot. That was her favorite. She always had a few squirrels in her bag. Alive ones, they'd come and she'd give peanuts. And yeah, she was very loving. So that's what she's doing right now. All right, so let's see what else I can get. Stop. Yeah, there's quite a few mother ships that are present within our simulation. A lot of memory reinstalling. I can see humanity having more vivid dreaming, like intense dreaming, like a memory recall, almost like different timelines are coming back. People also feeling that frequency of timelines coming back. I'm seeing a lot of deja vu's frequency. Yeah, it's like everything is coming back to the one. There's a whole cleanup happening, and it's been going on for a very long time. But right now, it's like accelerated. Yes, Honey made a video on this, Honey Bunny, a short video, and she had an artwork done. So it's like a blue stairs, like water and information that went over a golden wall, and in back of the golden wall is the fifth 5D. So like we say, 5D means fifth density and fifth dimension, and so now we're landing the two together. Do you see what I mean? I can see that here too, because now I can see her bridge and the stairs, and everything in the back is so beautiful, and it doesn't just look like a vast and golden plush, but it looks actually like the whole universe is there. I get a strong feeling that humanity is starting to wake up and realize that reality was far stranger than it appeared, that reality is almost like a lot more fictitious than what we thought, stranger than it appears. Reality is very different. It's just stranger things. Stranger Things, that's the guys who did the Barrows, the Something Brothers, which also had a lot of disclosure because you had psychic children, you had all that MK mind control, which was all disclosure. So they have a big part too. The Stranger Things was like the Montauk Projects and all that blip, blap, bloop. And now with this one, there's something else right there too, like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And then the disclosure for Steven Spielberg. And then we got the NASA and all this disclosure coming out. And we're going full back down to Roswell, the desert, where Wendy was smashing into a wall of TV sets. But now the TV sets feels like it's all humanity, and then we turn our dial up, and then we break the frequency that had originally entrapped us. Okay, babies, I went full circle, and the cardinal is back. The little bird. Yeah. All right, so let's go see what some cards, boo-boos, because how long have I been blabbing? Half an hour, and I do got to get ready for work. So let's grab a little bit more yum bubble gum. All right, Wendy. We're going to go for Honey's golden cards. Secrets of the universe are being revealed. Boo Boo Bears about duality. The two pillars right there. All right, higher self, oversoul, and universe. Come on in. Okay, what flew out? That one I know is important. Oh my gosh. The Wheel of Fortune. What we're going through right now, it's topsy-turvy. It's spinning. Creepazoids at the bottom. Angelics at the top. Major arcana. We are here. The Wheel of Fortune, everything is being disclosed, turned around, washed away, cleansed. All right, so what says you with, well, everything that I saw in the crystal ball, because I did go quite far in full circle with Wendy, the beautiful Wendy. All right, so what else fell on the floor? So the Wheel of Fortune, in regards to inner conflict of words, of the mind, of frequency, the TV sets, us breaking the illusion. Then I'm seeing the water there again. And the clouds, so that would have been Iceland. Yes. All right, what else? Oh, wow. Wheel of Fortune, everything is spinning around. That's Vegas. I'm going to Vegas, winning the jackpot. In regards to what inner conflict that had blinded us, put us into the fear of the unknown. We're at a cross point. We were stuck by information, mind control, broadcasting. In the now moment, we do have, wow, truth, justice. The Ace of Swords is popping out here. We got a crown, we got feathers, we got wreath. This is a beautiful card about truth, the signal now that was in the past, indoctrination and mind control or spell binding. Right now we're breaking through it. At the heartbeat, wow, we got the King of Pineapples, the King of everything, abundance, lack of nothing. I love that. And then we move on. Oh, and it's a strategy. Everything that I tapped into is strategic. We're moving information around with the Seven of Swords. And then for the future, we're coming out of a slumber, the dark night of a soul, illuminated. We were like one of Wendy's songs, was now you're a zombie, honey, just like you were before. We can press your buttons and have a robot war. We're coming out of all of that enlightened. It's got an off-world energy. It is calling all lost sailors to sea. That lantern I'm being flashed at could look like a TV set that's turned on. So what used to hypnotize us, now we become that energy and we break it. Moving on to right under the King of Pineapples, we got the Creator, God aspect. And then we're going to be safe. Ground. This is like, in the row. Two of Swords, the past, blind, stuck. Then, in the now moment, the Seven of Swords, it's a strategy in order to have the Four of Pentacles. Ground, you are safe. You are grounded. Clarifying strands, we do have, yes, humanity is exhausted, the wounded warrior, but we're not giving up. We're stronger than that. We can be banged up, but we're not letting go of that wand. Huh? And nines are before tens. Tens are endings of what? Something grueling. Then Srivan next, it's reincarnation, a new day, a new dawn, one of high hopes, boo-boo, a start over again, except this time we don't have to have a catalytic end world scenario. We're snapping out of it. We're waking up. The Great Awakening. And then we end with, now we have the King of Wands. Integrity, passion, honorability. There's a lot of male king energy here. So creation, this is of absolute beauty. All right, so let's go get a Susan card around all this. Susan. All right, Susan, come on in. So let's wrap this up with, well, I think one card, unless you say differently. Sometimes I could have an idea, and then they want three. All right, so let's see. See, we wanted two. Okay, so I took them like this. So it would go like, no, I took them like this. So the first one would be this one. Okay. I trust the one supreme law of God to sort out everything for my highest good. Look at that with the beautiful swans forming a heart. Love, gentleness. We're going to be okay. Ground. And the second one is awareness is the beginning of healing. Self-awareness. Confidence. Personal power. Isn't that beautiful? So everything that's happening now as we're coming out of the dark night of the soul illuminated, that is what it is. It's awareness. And that awareness is the beginning of healing. So we are healing what was over us, that dark cloud for such a long time, right? Self-awareness. I absolutely love it. And if you look at the design here too, it's as if we're ripping something, like a paper, like ripping it. I'm aware of it. I'm like ripping the curtain. What's under it? I love that. All right, so let's go get Aurélien and see. All right, let's just go see, like, Wendy, are you still here? Yes. All right, so we're going to ask Wendy. Today, Aurélien's given this place, the spotlight and the stage to Miss Wendy or Orlean Williams. So, Wendy, sunshine, how was my reading? Was it good? Everything I saw in the crystal ball? And you have been around for the last few days, have you not? Yes. So is it all that, like, what you were aware of in the 70s and created like a name for yourself? What the outrageous was to bring attention to what you were destroying, because it was all part of the same, like, fashion and governmental and everything about, well, the powers that be that have indoctrinated. And the orange school bus had I never saw that the school bus was about bringing the children and indoctrinating them at a very young age in the TV sets. All right, so coming back full circle with the Barrows TV show right now, that would Gaia rising, her children rising, creator, everyone is here. So that frequency is what breaks the spell that you were smashing back then. So it comes full circle. Is there any way we are wrong? So changing gears, changing channels, and Wendy is saying no. So this is going to be a very interesting one. It was 37 when I looked. And you know, synchronicities are what we believe in. So Wendy, thank you for coming. We love you. And she's showing me my squirrels. I have a black one. She loves my black squirrel. I'm seeing him. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. So there you go, babies. I hope you enjoyed this video, which is the month of June energetic frequency forecast. So be good, be kind to yourselves, because we are safe, we are loved, and with Gaia we heal. Mwah! I love you.